Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. Let's go to Wellington for today's daily challenge, where we will begin with one motorway, and that is all the motorway we will get, and the speed limit is increased on bridges. Samurai Sam was here first and dropped a crab rape and has let us know that yes, indeed, friends, I don't want to say anything, but the stream schedule for the week is completely and totally full. I don't remember the last... It's been longer than this since we've actually been able to do it, because things have come up. I don't remember the last time we even went into a week with the possibility that every stream could happen as normally scheduled, and therefore, it is exciting times here at Casa de Streama de Goog or something. I don't know. Here, let's try running this around here and down there, and wonder why we're using our gaming mouse. I usually refer to it as my MMO mouse because that's what I Googled when I bought it, and I use it to play Final Fantasy XIV, but, you know, I use it to play Final Fantasy XIV in the same way a dude with a 2-year AA chip drinks vodka. Theoretically, hypothetically. It's a thing you used to do that you're not ready to tell yourself is a thing you used to do. And I am still, at least, in the phase of saying that I will play Final Fantasy XIV some more in the future. Because I do legitimately believe that I will play Final Fantasy XIV some more in the future. But, you know, we shall see. Life is long. It is not infinite. There is a great many video games, and for some reason, my brain has decided that it gets more dopamine from doing a fantasy draft and starting a franchise in MLB The Show 24 than, at the moment, playing Final Fantasy XIV. Is that going to continue? Who the hell knows? Is that a smart and worthwhile endeavor? No! But then again, is anything? Food for thought. Sort of. Not really. We only have one motorway, and I don't want to use it right away, but we kind of sort of also have to, like, support this business so it doesn't fucking die. So, at least for right now, we're gonna do this. I don't know if that's gonna be there forever and a day. It probably won't. In fact, the presence of this bridge makes me think that we can get away with murder killing it, like, right now. But we'll see. Oh, God, I woke up sniffy today. Alright. Yeah. Let's... Hold on. Ow. Oh, I sneezed twice. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to murder kill this motorway. We've redrawn the blue road to get down and around into here. We're going to take this yellow and we're going to do exactly that over to here, down to here. Everybody go. And now we have greens. Okay. This, I suppose, is fine. The three of you can fuck off and die. No. Well, that would be nice, but isn't going to happen. Instead, you will get temporarily placed motorway number 1. Run over to here, which is, of course, the second temporarily placed motorway of the day, but you know what I mean. Now, I went back and, well, first of all, there was a comment to this effect. It's not like I did it of my own volition or nothing, but I went back and listened to Friday's episode, and it was correctly pointed out to me that I was fucking drowning in the fucking mix. Because, you know, we've been doing 780 of these or something. It's not like I'm good at it or anything. Sam, I'm going to say this with love and kindness in my heart, and I don't even remember if you were there Friday. So if you weren't there Friday, you know what I mean. If you notice that something sounds bad, fucking say something. That's a general blanket request that applies to anyone ever, forever. And you weren't even there. So there you go. There you go. It still applies, it still applies, he says, pointing at the webcam, shaking the finger for emphasis as though you can see him, even though, you can't. Let's see here. We'll take another bridge. We shall take another bridge. And I took another bridge because in the long run, bridges are very helpful. I could have used a roundabout, like, right the fuck now. But, oh well. Let's do something. I don't know exactly what regarding these businesses. We can just kind of toss this over to here. And this is a horrible intersection. It's not even bad. It's downright horrible. And yet, it's going to exist. I don't have any positive words of affirmation, at least not yet. This is just going to exist and going to have to be fine. But yes, I have adjusted. I have taken the slider that controls the spoodify. I'm sorry, the spoodify Goog. Tried to say something silly and then it came out bad. My point is I pulled the slider down a little and hopefully you could still hear the music because I can hear the music in my headphones. But, and this is the important part, you can also hear the Goog. Whether or not that's a good thing is left to the viewer, but, it is kind of the central point. Any schmuck can play Mini Motorways and Spotify together at the same time. It takes the special soup that is the... No, hold on. I don't like soup. Interesting. Thank you, Sam. And thank you to Mushbrains for saying that the mix is better now. Hopefully, it actually is. I think it is. I think it's okay now. Let's take... we're good on road tunnels. We'll take another tunnel. Whether or not we might actually need to use it remains to be seen. We do... Well, I could tunnel these light blues down around here, which would then free up some space for greens, but... Actually, that might be a thing that needs doing soon-ishly. But for right now, let's... That's what Steve from Blues Clues does in his humming chair. Which is totally different from your thinking chair, because just because you're making thinking sounds doesn't mean you're God. It does not mean you're God. It also does not mean you're actually thinking. Alright. These three beiges go off that away. This beige have a lovely time doing nothing, I think. Yeah, you do that. We'll toss a traffic light. Nope. Wait, we'll toss a traffic light there. That'll be... Okay. All right. Let's see here. If I got motorway number 1 back, this would be much easier. But, Oh my God. Mini Motorways. Why? Just tell me why. Ain't nothing but a etc. Okay. Let's take a third tunnel, because I think I'm about to use 2. And then... Feckwits. Alright. If we kill... Let's do some examination. If we point this down this way, we can have this shoot down that way. That'll free up this road, but we still can't do anything with the greens. The greens coming here might just be part of it, although that's probably better. That is definitely better, because if we do that, then we can do this. Only use 1 tunnel. Get greens over to there. Good plan. Next, we've got, well, the fact that we've, no, we can't actually do anything with getting blues this way to get up here unless we use a tunnel. There's no real point in using a tunnel there, so, okay. I think we're just going to have to shove these yellows into this yellow business and pretend that it's okay. Look at that. Totally fine. Hundo P A-OK. Why would anyone even say, fuck you? Really? Really? Seriously now? Are you certain? Folks, I think it's certain. I think it actually wanted to do that. I think there's actually a... Oh, hey, I disconnected blues from things. Oops. Yeah, blues from things over to there. Ha boy. Ha boy, ha boy, ha boy. I could probably get away with... Well, I could probably get away with a very long and stupid road. Part of the problem, of course, is it would be very long, and I only have 21 spare road tiles. Like, even if we, like, optimally efficient size this, we're still a good 8 tiles short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ah, fuck me, buddy. Why? All right. Well, Balderdash. I'm not finding 11 road tiles anywhere. That's just not a thing that's happening. Which probably means we should do something different. But this kind of sort of might just be okay. Oh, fuck you. This red circle is not a priority of mine at the moment. I was going to say that this dark blue business could just be okay, and theoretically in the future it might be, but practically in the present it isn't. So what we're going to do, at least for the moment, is yoink motorway number 1. Grab these greens, leave them alone for just a moment. You know, if you want to just spawn a couple of greenhouses over here, take care of that, would be real nice and quick. Have I given this too little time? Oh, I don't think that's going to make it. I think we've left this too short again. Get in there, and yep. Man, I used to be good at timing. Then again, I also used to be good at this video game. So, you know, it's almost as if I haven't been regularly playing or something. Bottom 15% in the world. Drop those samurai slams in the chat, etc., etc., etc. Sadness and failure. All right, let us bring in our very good friend, the Wordle. Hello, the Wordle. I suppose, given that we're people who discuss professional wrestling and righteous anger and that sort of thing here, that we should talk about Brock Lesnar. Because Brock Lesnar's back in WWE, and Sam, with remarkable timing, has redeemed Goog's top 3 favorite face or heel turns. Let's see here. All right. The Wordle could be stink. It's not, but it might have been. Oh, let's see here. Off the top of my head, you know, one of the most famous ones is Shawn Michaels turning on Marty Jannetty in the barbershop. I never saw that when it was live. It happened, I was alive when it happened, but I was not like an aware and functioning human being. I was that age, basically. So I have no like emotional attachment to that. I recognize its importance because Shawn Michaels went on to be Shawn Michaels. But, you know, the WWE kind of smooths over the fact that it took, 3 years and a steroid trial for Shawn Michaels to become Shawn Michaels after the barbershop window. Like, to hear WWE speak of it, Shawn Michaels turned on his tag team partner Marty Jannetty, and then a rocket appeared from nowhere, strapped itself to Shawn Michaels' ass, and then he became the greatest wrestler of all time, unless we've decided that Ric Flair is the greatest wrestler of all time this week. That's not exactly what happened. There was a steroid trial involved. Have we properly celebrated the death of Hulk Hogan on this channel? I don't know. Hulk Hogan died. That's good. Fuck Hulk. Fuck Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, incidentally, had a legendarily famous heel turn. It was a good and fun heel turn. I enjoy that. We could well be talking about Rikishi's stink face. Rikishi had a heel turn. It was okay. It was an experiment. It was a choice that was made. It didn't go well, but you know. All right. As for ones that like I personally really enjoyed, it could be Hippo, Peter S. You're not wrong. It could well be Hippo. It's not, but it could have been. There was the time that Lord Tensai, horrible failed gimmick, turned face and became the Hip Hop Hippo. That is another thing that happened. I'm having trouble thinking of ones that like I really loved, because like most of like a really well foreshadowed is the term, heel or face term. You can sort of see coming and you want it to happen, but it's I don't know, man. This is a thinker. It's a thinker. As to this Wordle, it is also a thinker. It's not, one would say, a gimme. It is indeed not a gimme. But, well, we know there's a G in the word. That's something. Man, it just occurred to me that it's Monday, and that means we're going to get the behind the scenes episode of last week's episode of Game Changer tonight. And I really want to watch that, because last week's episode of Game Changer was awesome. I mean, Batista's face turn was really well done. Batista's babyface turn in, late 2004, early 2005, I thought was very well done. And it succeeded in making Batista into a megastar, which was always good. It's nice when that happens. We talked recently about the July 9th, 2001 episode of Monday Night Raw, where 6 different things happened, and like a competently planned and well thought out wrestling organization would have staggered the events of that 2 hours of television over at least 3, if not as many as 9 months. But instead it all happened over 2 hours of television. That involved like a dozen heel turns, because a bunch of guys who were in the WWF and babyfaces just kind of turned heel. So it was a fun episode of Raw. It was not, in retrospect, a good or smart episode of Raw, but it was fun. Let's see here. What in the God's name is this Wordle? Can't be bigot because there's no O and no T. Could it be jiggy? Could we get jiggy with it? I suppose we could. There's nothing saying we can't. Well, now there's something we can't, but at the moment there wasn't. It's not like thigh because there's no T and no H. That would in fact be a terrible guess. The I isn't even in the right place. It can't be ligma because there's no M. Is the only reason. It could be, no, it can't be digit because there's no T. And again, we'll say, it can't be 8. 8 would be a horrendous guess at this point. Hangman Page's babyface and heel saga. Like the thing with AEW, and this is like not quite a criticism I have of AEW, but it is a side effect of the fact that AEW uses competent, generally slow-paced booking. AEW very rarely has actual quote-unquote shocking turns. I can think of one that they did where they had the Young Bucks turn on Jon Moxley, but even then it was like, there was foreshadowing and drama. Very rarely does AEW do something that they even try to make appear to be out of nowhere like that. Although FTR turning on Adam Copeland was well done. That was very well done. And it was pretty out of nowhere. So, Shocker that the WWE guy whose entire run in AEW has been him fetishizing WWE stuff did a well-executed WWE-style turn as part of his storyline. Shocking that happened. It's almost as if that company allows its performers to have creative freedom, which can be good or bad, depending on the performer. Nah. Oh, let's see here. What in the fuck is this word? It's not right, because again, there's no H and no T. It's not like an oil rigger, because it's a 6-letter word. That would be why. It is far too late in the game to try to pull 5 letters I haven't used. That would be a bad choice. It's not light. It's not anything with an H or a T, Goog. For the love of God. I think everything I've tossed out has had that combination of letters, and they're not there. We eliminated them very quickly. Oof. It's not Jushin Thunder Liger. That's true. Okay, so. I mean, Peter S., if you think you know it, and it's only a think you know it, fucking hit me with it, buddy. Sam, I do enjoy doing that. Tossing out a digid. Rigid. Could it be rigid? There you go. It could be rigid. Okay. Thank you, Peter S. I was thinking fairly rigidly about it. That much is true. Have I named 3 heel turns yet? I think I've probably named 3 heel turns. Can we count Miranda Lawson's babyface turn in Mass Effect 3? I don't know. She was kind of a face by the end of Mass Effect 2. There has been no ranking. That's true. All right, this is going to be a random one. And it's probably, like, if I actually thought about it, it wouldn't make the top 10, but fuck it. We're going to say, for, like, historical awesomeness or whatever, I guess. And here are 3 heel turns. One heel turn that we will name is Hulk Hogan turning heel on Macho Man Randy Savage, and by extension, all of WCW, and forming the New World Order. It was good. It was important. It was fun. Number 2 is FTR murder killing Adam Copeland. It was a wrestling angle that happened. It was good. It was fun. It was fine. It's progressing on its pace as it will. And number 3 is, so this one time on Raw, stop me if you've heard this before, Shawn Michaels and Triple H reunited D-Generation X. That has only happened like 15 times over the last 20 years. This time, it was one of the first times. It was like 2002. So, D-Generation X, a wrestling act that had been out of business for all of 2 years, was reformed for one night only, because it turned out that Triple H turned heel on Shawn Michaels, and then they feuded, and then they had a great match at SummerSlam, and that was fun and good. There you go. That was a good, fun time. So, let us look at today's time guesser, and also, all good. I already took down the "Don't tell me the effing answer" text. Well done, Goog. So we've got a cover of L with, I'm pretty sure that's Timothy Chalamet on the cover, given that it looks like Timothy Chalamet and says Timothy on it. All right. And specifically, this is L Italia. So this is the Italian L, although it does happily have an English version. Hold on. Does that say September 2022? Oh, that's very convenient. I saw the September, and that was totally fine and good and whatever. But hold, please. We must ban the spam bot. We are, after all, a stream on twitch.tv, and therefore be plagued by spam bots. Ag. All right. So we're somewhere in Italy in 2022. Can we figure out where? This is La Biennale de Venezia. I don't know. So somewhere in Venice? Also, Daily Venezia. Also probably Venice. Okay. So we're somewhere in Venice, Italy in 2022. That seems reasonable. Seems doable. Venice is like north, right? It's not actually terribly close to Rome. Am I right about that? Am I remembering that correctly? I feel like I'm remembering that correctly. Italy, where did you put your Venice? There's Verona. So there's a couple of houses. There's Venice. See, it was the north of Italy. All right, here's Venezia. Let's say that we're at the Università Califossi. We're there. And it's 2022. Because that's when the magazine came out. No, don't hit the... Oh, I almost hit make guess on 2021. That would have been bad. Yeah. Yeah, Mookie Betts is having a bad offensive season. I haven't looked in a minute. Last I checked, he was struggling at around a 100 OPS plus, and it might have gotten worse for him. Let's see here. Oh boy. Oh, Marcus. All right. Yeah, that's not good. Here's the thing with Mookie Betts, and this is one part blind hope and one part legitimate belief on my part. Over the past 2 seasons, Mookie Betts has converted himself, has gone from being a right fielder who occasionally moonlights at other positions to fill a team need, to not only the starting shortstop, but like a Gold Glove caliber starting shortstop. Mookie Betts has been a very good defensive shortstop this year. So Mookie is, in order to do that, in order to move from being a very good right fielder to being a very good shortstop, you need to, 1, focus on learning shortstop defense, possibly to the expense of your batting training. 2, probably transform your body a little bit. And 3, I don't have a 3. But there's that. Second thing, you may recall that right before the season, the Dodgers were in Japan to start the season against the Padres, and Mookie Betts didn't play those opening games. Well, you may recall that it turned out Mookie had been deathly ill. Like, it never came out exactly what Mookie Betts had, but he lost 20 pounds. And it's not like Marcus was a hefty gentleman to begin with. So I am of the belief, personally, that several things are happening. 1, he's adjusting to learning shortstop, which is hard. 2, he got sick at the start of the season and never really recovered. 3, he's getting a little bit older, and that just kind of happens to dudes when they get a little bit older. Now, he is like 32, and the Dodgers have signed him for ever. So it would be bad if he was just bad now. I believe that given an entire offseason to possibly convert back to right field and definitely not be deathly ill 2 days before the start of the season, he'll be better next year. I hope. But if the Dodgers don't think that, they should trade him to the Mets for nothing. Clearly. The Dodgers should just cut bait on this Jamoke. Imagine trading for Mookie Betts, though. Who would want to do that? All right. Let's see here. We are in some Scandinavian country. I think that's Norway, but it might be Sweden. All right. I get credit for knowing knowing we're in Scandinavia. Which one? I think this is Norway. I'm not. But it's either Norway or Sweden. It's neither Iceland nor Finland. All right. This is looking kind of 80s-ish. Benko pings or something. All right, so we've got these folks. They're here. They're doing stuff. They're joined by the Heisenbergs. Okay, so this is a person who watched Breaking Bad but didn't understand that Walt was not an aspirational figure and just goes around on TikTok posting memes of the goated Heisenberg. Got it. Okay. Incidentally, Goated Heisenberg is the title of the episode. So we've got that going for it. Which is good, because we haven't even talked about Brock fucking Lesnar, who I said we would talk about. Oh, fuck. Okay. I don't want to talk about Brock fucking Lesnar. Where are we? We're somewhere in Norway, we decided. Yeah, we're somewhere in Norway in 1986. Okay. Norway's this one, right? Yep, Norway's this one. Why are you? Because it's somewhat relevant to the channel, and I have a microphone, and WWE did a morally disgusting thing. 1986 was Sweden, not Norway, and it was 1977. So you may or may not have heard that there's a woman named Jamel Grant. Now I don't remember if it's Jamel or Janelle. I think it's Janelle Grant. It is indeed Janelle Grant. So Janelle Grant is suing Vince McMahon, former owner, CEO, president, etc., of World Wrestling Entertainment, and World Wrestling Entertainment, alleging a litany of offenses by Vince McMahon, including, by the way, I suppose I should mention, trigger warning, we're going to get into some fairly heavy stuff. We're not going to get into the absolute grossest details, but this is heavy and this is gross, so fair warning. Janelle Grant alleges that Vince McMahon engaged in a series of sexual assault and manipulation and blackmail and that sort of thing. And some of the things that Janelle Grant has credibly accused Vince McMahon of, like there was a civil lawsuit that was put on hold to facilitate federal investigation back when the federal government investigated terrible people like Vince McMahon. But so in this lawsuit, Janelle Grant alleges, among other things, that Vince McMahon, as part of their relationship, ordered her to take naked photographs of herself performing just truly gross, disgusting sexual acts, which he then sent to a great many people, showed to pretty much anyone he could backstage, and had Janelle Grant perform sexual favors for other people in WWE, including, wait for it, Brock Lesnar. And when Brock Lesnar was initially mentioned, there was some... when the initial suit came out, there were several names that were redacted from the suit because they weren't being named as defendants, but they were, people involved and they needed to be identified so as to form the narrative that formed the basis of the complaint, right? Typically when that happens, you anonymize the names, and they were, Executive 1, Executive 2, that sort of thing. People who know professional wrestling very quickly looked at the Janelle Grant complaint and said, okay, this executive is either John Laurinaitis or Triple H, or it could be Nick Khan. This executive is definitely either Triple H or Nick Khan. This executive is the other of Triple H or Nick Khan. The second executive wasn't, that sort of thing. And there was one performer who, it must be said, was very poorly anonymized in this complaint. One wrestler was identified as something like a former world champion and UFC star. And in WWE, there was one guy that fit. So everybody who read that complaint and knew anything about professional wrestling knew, oh, this is Brock Lesnar. This lawsuit is alleging that Vince McMahon had Janelle Grant perform sexual acts for Brock Lesnar. In a potentially related development, shortly after the complaint came out, Brock Lesnar vanished from WWE TV. He disappeared. He wasn't in any of the videos. He wasn't in any of the hype packages. When they did recaps of shows that Brock Lesnar was on, his participation was conveniently not present. That sort of thing. And the Janelle Grant lawsuit has been going for a couple of years now. Justice moves slowly, particularly when there were very damning allegations of very important, powerful, rich people involved. So the wheels have been turning slowly and slowly, but they are turning, and the lawsuit is continuing, and every once in a while there is a new, an amended complaint is filed, or there's an interview with someone who's familiar with the thing and says, yeah, this definitely happened, or there's a pleading or a filing or something. So it hasn't, dropped out of the news cycle or anything, but it's a thing that is hanging over WWE's head, that, oh, by the way, Vince McMahon, and incidentally, a ton of people at WWE facilitated Vince McMahon having a series of abusive, horrible relationships with people that included sending their dirty pictures to anyone and everyone, whether they wanted to see them or not, and having them regularly perform favors for upper-level members of the WWE roster, including but not limited to Brock Lesnar. This is a thing that is very difficult to avoid unless the only thing you do is watch WWE. Last night at SummerSlam, after a years-long absence from World Wrestling Entertainment, who should return with his music and his ballyhoo and his stupid haircut and his cowboy hat but Brock fucking Lesnar? Because, particularly in the, oh dear God, it's only been 7 months since Donald Trump assumed the office of the presidency for the second time. This has been happening for a while, but it has really accelerated in the past 7 months. WWE has just... The term that is being thrown around is mask off. And yeah, the WWE is not making any real bones about the fact that they are very heavily in bed with the Trump administration and their friends and, say, the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This particular barely informed rant is not about WWE's relationship with the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, but it should be mentioned that WWE has a long-standing relationship with the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Anytime you see an ad for Live Golf or any of the English Premier League teams that a Saudi royal has purchased, or if you hear rumorings that Saudi money might be involved in the pending sales of, say, the Minnesota Twins or the San Diego Padres, anytime you see that and you think, man, I really don't like that this skeezy Middle Eastern kingdom that is completely and totally awful is kind of insinuating itself into American sport. Gee, I wish that hadn't happened. Remind yourself that it began one of the very first organizations to get in bed with this sports washing initiative was WWE. Of course it was. So in the, oh good God, it's only been 7 months since Donald Trump reassumed the office of the presidency, WWE has just stopped pretending to care about things such as equality and minorities and decency. They've had Ron DeSantis show up on their shows. They boast about their relationship with the president. After all, Linda McMahon is in Donald Trump's cabinet. Triple H was recently named to some oversight board whose existence is going to enable the destruction of NIL rights because heaven forbid college athletes make some of the money that they make their colleges for themselves. Heaven forfend. The point, or at least a point, is that WWE has gone completely off the deep end into fully embracing this style of existence, And it must be noted that this comes in the immediate aftermath of their merger/acquisition with TKO and Dana White's prominent involvement and everyone in the UFC. Yup, that's not a coincidence. And it has gotten to the point where they just don't care. They don't believe there will be any comeuppance. There will be no negative consequences whatsoever to bringing Brock Lesnar, a man who, at the very least, this is like the least you can say about Brock Lesnar, has been credibly accused of being a knowing, willing, eager participant in the long-standing sexual abuse and exploitation of at least one woman. That's like the most generous, factually correct reading you can give, putting aside anything else that might have happened, anything else that has happened in other things, ignoring any of the other reasons one might have for not working with Brock Lesnar. Just that thing, that alone should, in a company with decency or being run by humans with humanity, be disqualifying, at least for the moment. It's possible, it's theoretically, hypothetically possible that Brock Lesnar did nothing wrong in his, well, not in his life. We have proof of most of these things. In this particular manner, there has not yet been absolute, conclusive, damning evidence, and you could, if you wanted to, say that it's possible that Brock did nothing wrong in this instance. Even with that, it should, at this very moment, be enough to not work with the guy. And yet, also, he's got to be pushing 50 at the, I want very much to just say that this is a morally reprehensible thing. But, and it is, I also just don't fucking understand why the fuck you're bringing in a 48-year-old Brock Lesnar to work with a 50-year-old John Cena again? Okay, whatever. My point today is fuck WWE. Fuck WWE. Fuck Brock Lesnar. Fuck Triple H. Fuck the whole goddamned enterprise. I am not saying you have to watch All Elite Wrestling or any particular organization. If you are a fan of professional wrestling and you wish to consume professional wrestling, I suggest you watch AEW. I demand that you stop fucking watching WWE. Stop fucking watching WWE. So this is the Mauritius Commercial Bank, which is probably near Mauritius. Would be helpful for me to remember where Mauritius is. I think it's near Australia, but it might also be near Africa. So, now those things are, as you may be able to tell, rather substantially far apart. We're going to start poking around over here, because I think it's near Australia. It's like in Indonesia or New Guinea or Fiji or something. Mauritius? No? Was I wrong about that? I may have been wrong about that. We did a cursory glance of all of Australia and didn't see it, so here, let's just do a once over the Cape of Good Hope and see if we can find some Mauritius here. Yeah, hi there, western corner of Africa. Is there a Mauritius in you? Mauritius is near Madagascar. Hi there. Hey! It's a Mauritius. Oh, you're a tiny little dude, aren't you? Hi there. All right. Well, we're probably in Port Louis. Cool. When are we? Wonderful question. Haven't a clue. It is 1950 silence. Why do you have to be silent? Why are you insisting on no noise in your town, Mauritius? Seems bad. It's not a thing that we do in 1954. I don't know why I said 1950. It's 1956. Hey, how about that? Hooray, Mauritius. All right. Next, we are in a big, massive train station. Possibly, well, I was going to say Grand Central, but it looks like these signs are in significantly more French than that. So, oh, and also this is an airport, not a train station. Very important. All right. So you got your metro down here. You got your bagage down over here, and your Palm Pencontre over there. Un enfant de nuit puis proche bon enfance. Your night child will really like your Porsche. Got it. Look at this night child. He really likes your Porsche. That doesn't help, actually, because there's no date on that Porsche advertisement. Oh, Lord. All right. What do we got over here? Dijon, Divion, Vie de Congrès. Okay. Give Congress your weird mustard. Also not helpful. Although, this does appear to be saying December 1996. So, yeah, that does help. All right. So we're at Charles de Gaulle International Airport in 1996. Obviously. It's kind of disappointing that I figured it out so quickly because I wanted to do more poorly reading French advertisements. We probably couldn't make an entire stream out of poorly reading French advertisements, but maybe we could. All right. That should be a channel point reward. Here, poorly interpret this French advertisement. Probably not. I might be cracking myself up too much. All right. Let's say that we are right here, smack dab in the middle of Charles de Gaulle Airport. It is 1996. Like so. Oh, this was the Gare de Lyon train station. Even though you have baggage claim at... Hold on. Why is the baggage claim at a train station? Very confused, France. All right. So this is Large Benjamin. Hello there, Large Benjamin. This lady is probably important, but she's not the usual lady you'd think of as an important lady in the shadow of Large Benjamin. So, come to think of it, all of these folk are probably important. It's just that I don't know who any of them are. So, doesn't help much. Although, we've got, the general black and white photographic nature of the thing. The shadow of Large Benjamin. I feel as though we can do reasonably well for ourselves here. All right. We're in Jolly London Town. And Large Benjamin is part of Westminster Abbey, which means it's in Westminster, which is part of Westminster Abbey. Am I making that up? I might be making that up. Hold on. No, I don't think I am. I think I'm correct. All right, so there's Large Benjamin right there, which means... Okay. So this right here is that right there. We just got to figure out how to position ourselves. Basically, what bridge are we on? That's the question. I think this bridge is too close. So we're probably on this bridge. Well, I mean, it does look like there's a fair expanse of water. There's a little bit. We could be like here. Could be like here on that bridge. No, because it looks like there's another bridge in the background, right? Is there? No. No, we're definitely not on this bridge. We're definitely not on this bridge. So we're certainly on one of these two bridges. Ah, crap. Are there like cars and shit on that bridge? There are like cars and shit on that bridge. Okay. I guess we have to be on this bridge? That really doesn't make sense. I'm almost thinking we're on this bridge. Fuck. All right, split the difference. We're on this bridge. I don't like that. But It's conceivable. As to the when of this, man, I don't fucking know. I'm not moving the thing. Oh, it was 1950. Okay. Also, we were basically on the right bridge. Oh, we weren't on a bridge. That's cheating. Final score, 43,085. It sure is a score. That's pretty damn good. Reasonably well done, Goog. All right. For today's Immaculate Grid, we need Brewers and Guardians and Blue Jays and Mariners and Dudes What Caught and Dudes What only played for one team. A Guardian who was only ever a Guardian is Jose Ramirez. I think he's been with them his whole career. It's a long career. It's a productive career. Should probably be a little bit more safe about stuff. Let's say Shane Bieber. Shane Bieber's a Guardian who's only ever been a Guardian until he pitches for I think he got traded to the Blue Jays at the trade deadline. That sounds right. But for the moment, he fits in this square. When he makes an appearance, he'll be in this square. Haha. Guardian who was also a Blue Jay. Hey, we've spoken about shitbags already on this stream, right? That gives us cover and permission to mention Roberto Alomar, another shitbag, right? Okay, good. Blue Jay who was also a Brewer is Paul Molitor. And a Blue Jay who caught is Danny Jansen. Not Kenley Jansen, Danny Jansen. All right, let's see here. A Mariner who was also a Guardian is Russell Branyan. I don't know why that immediately pops to mind, but it's a factual statement that Russell Branyan was a Mariner and a Guardian. Come to think of it, I think he was also a Brewer. But Brewer, who was also a Mariner, is Richie Sexson. And a Mariner who caught is Kurt Suzuki. What? I just did the Jim Halpert stare at the webcam, which, again, you can't see. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Dan Wilson. Dan Wilson is a catcher for the Mariners. There you go. Dude who played for the Brewers, and only the Brewers, is Ben Sheets. Oh, he made an appearance for another team? Well, that's annoying. Fortunately, I had already failed the Immaculate Grid. Curses and anger and failure and such. Robin Yount was a career Brewer. Good for him. Folks, that is going to do it for us here today on Good Morning Mini Motorways once again. And listen, things can happen. The nature of my work is such that if a client decides that they need a deposition to happen in Albany tomorrow, they're going to call me. And I'm going to be the one to go to Albany. And if I have to go to Albany at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, then there will not be a Gimmimimim tomorrow. But as of right now, there is no known reason why we can't have a full stream schedule this week. So let's try to have ourselves a full stream schedule this week, okay? Okay. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you as always for watching. I will see you hopefully tomorrow morning for another edition of Good Morning Mini Motorways. Goodbye.